Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the finals for the day. What's happening? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Production was causing a bunch of ruckus. Welcome back to finals today. This is going to be contention for first seed going into the LAN.
It is for first seed. Dignitas versus Cognitive. Whoever wins this one will go all the way, DM. And before this one starts, a quick shout out as well. At the bottom of your screen, you'll be seeing the hats that are on sale right now at Smite.clothing or something like that. But it's under there anyway. Buy the hats now, guys. They're on only limited stock as well, so it's a very short thing for that one. And on the other side of that as well, we've also got Curse Voice. DM, have you played on it yet?
I'm sorry?
Curse Voice. You used it?
Curse Voice. I have used that. I used it yesterday.
Does it make you turn invisible?
What? I'm sorry?
I miss you. You've gone. Like, you're just not there. I looked to my right and you've just gone. Curse gives you invisibility. But Curse Voice, guys, if you download it and install it for the first game you play, you will receive 200 gems, as well as have the ability to play with other people on comms. And maybe if you're lucky, you'll get in a game with DM, and he'll make you win the game because he'll shout at you until you do. Ain't that right?
I actually... yesterday, I got matched up with a guy, and he picked Chang'e. And I'm like, did you just pick Chang'e when I'm here? I'm like, you realize what's going to happen now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, just listen. It'll be fine. He actually did pretty well, to be fair. A few questionable build choices. But I like where this is going because, you know, I have, a lot of information about the game. I played the game a lot. And me being able to talk more to the community on a one-to-one level without fear of leaking my IP address is pretty awesome.
Yeah, on top of that, you also get to play with the community, and I love the community overall, and I like to try and talk to them as much as possible and find out what their take is on things. So being able to get in games with you guys is fantastic from our point of view as well. So download it, and you might get lucky and get in a game with me. Like me and Mez played today as well, and a few lucky people got in with us there. But we're into the game anyway very, very soon. Dignitas versus Cognitive.
Before that, though,
we're just waiting. Go on.
I want everyone at home to keep in mind that the points on the team websites update round to round.
That's right.
Right? So if Cognitive ends at 250, 5 Angry Men have already earned their points for that round and earned the points for the next round at the minimum. So 5 Angry Men did not make it.
Yep, 5 Angry Men did not make it.
So everyone who is talking about how me and Hindu Man can't count, we can count. We actually counted last week. That's how much we can count. We're from the future.
We're from the future. We're using Chronos, rewind time, and through space and Tim's, or as DM likes to call it, some sort of spirit gun or whatever you want to call it.
Spirit gun.
We've not seen any.
Raise your spirit guns. I know you guys are in the chat.
And we'll wait for the delay for that one as well as we wait for it. I bet they won't raise them now just because you're invisible. And they're like, who said that? How is Hindu doing the voice of DM at the same time? Well, I'm going to rip off this mask and DM's underneath, and that would shock the world right now. I need to get your face as a mask and just rip it off halfway through. Like,
that's
yo,
weird.
It's the same person mixed together. Can we get in the queue? Because I'm lonely here. Please, I want to be in the game now.
So going up here, guys, the fan favorites going in, Team Dignitas, are going to be going up against Cognitive Gaming. Remember, guys, the winner of this set takes first seed of the LAN and will go on to fight Cognitive Red.
Yep, so Cognitive versus Team Dignitas going to be facing off here. Yana's first ban straight out the gate from Cognitive. Are you surprised?
So, right out of the gate here, we're seeing bans come through of Janice and Osiris, rather expected.
Yeah, rather expected from these teams coming through. Osiris, we know how strong Osiris really is, and we've seen him quite a lot in competitive overall and how strong he can be in the jungle. So, especially with, he's reduced, the effective from his Lord of the Afterlife, where he can jump onto a target, root them in place, and also reduce the healing. It makes a big impact on the game, especially when you have a lot of sustained characters coming through DM.
So it looks like more bans coming through here. Aphrodite going to be taken off the board as well. This is pretty expected. She doesn't really get to see a lot of play time. Final ban coming out. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be excited about this because who knows why this character has not been played all day.
I don't understand why Kumbhakarna has not been picked up, but this is great for me because people follow the pros, DM. People see the pros, like, constantly picking it or banning it, and then I don't get to play it, but they're not picking it. It's great. So, as we see on the screen right now, we're going to see Athena is being hovered over by Cognitive Gaming at the moment. It looks like that could be their first pickup for this game. They're going to basically have that nuclear warhead online once again with the global ultimates with the Defender of Olympus. But look at this! We're going to see Jenny Z, formerly known as Zapman, now back to Zapman and not Jenny Z from the block, playing Rama. And this is one of the games where I was hoping to see Rama played because we're going to see the full potential possibly coming out from this new Hindu god unlocked for the first time this week. It's our first look into the lives of how the really full-on teams play it. We did see, as the game's gone on, we've seen a couple of Ram games, but someone like Zapman, who everyone says is one of the best hunters in the world, hopefully it's sorted out. So Rama picked up Ra and Apollo on the other side for Cognitive Gaming now. So they've got their Hunter and their Guardian online. On the other side, we can see obviously the same thing from Dignitas. We go into the banning stage once again, and the focus seems to be on the junglers from Cognitive Gaming to ban something away from Lars, and that's going to be the Bastet ban. On the other side of things, Ao Kwong taken off the table. They're clearly afraid of those ultimates coming out from the middle lane on MLC Stealth, so taking away Ao Kwong and the zone control and pressure that can put on. So it's now back to Team Dignitas once again for their first round of pick. It's going to be Mercury picked up here in the jungle for Lars. And it's one that we don't generally see that as often as we do the likes of Thor, the likes of Loki coming out from Laz is there. So him picking that one up. Going to be interesting to see as Vermont and Thor finally locked in to round out Cognitive Gaming's team. And it's back to Dignitas for what they're going to bring to the table. And it's going to be Bakasura in the solo lane to take on Vimana. So that lane matchup going to go quite nicely for both of them. Going to be interesting to see how this one plays out on paper. But this is game one, guys, in the final of week 10. Whoever wins this best of 3 match between Cognitive Gaming and Team Dignitas will take #1 seed in North America and be facing off against Cognitive Red when they get to the LAN, from what I understand from what DM said earlier. Guys, bit of a technical issue with DM's microphone. He turned invisible, and then he also decided to make his voice invisible. So I'm here alone. But we'll be right back, and hopefully we'll have the man back himself as well. We'll be right back after this break.
Welcome back, everybody, to Week 10 and the final set of the Smite World Championships qualifying series as we watch a 4v5 engage. Jeff Hindler gets an immediate push. He's in trouble!
Oh, he's really in trouble. Jeff got a great turn off, but he's going to drop down. Zapman getting first blood. That's big.
All right, so we're already so far ahead. I mean, that's huge right away. That's absolutely massive that Jeff has already died. I mean, that is such a big push for them in the early, considering that went to Zapman, the person that uses the gold the most.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that extra 100 gold, he'll be able to get his build online a little bit quicker as well, DM. It means he's going to be able to get his Devour's Gauntlets going that little bit faster and get a small lead over Barracuda, right. And that's going to really pay dividends.
So, we're getting started here. Everyone's probably going to do at least something close to normal. Actually, Anatoly's kind of hanging out at this mid-camp here.
He is for the moment. I mean, what he's considering doing here, I'm not too sure. If he's going to look for a steal with the hog and then jump away, I'm not so sure. Going to have to be careful because Omega and MLC Stealth, you know, they're going to be aware of it and try and put some burst down. Actually, he's going to be back off immediately now to the speed buff.
Right away, you're going to see Anatoly and Lassus pick this up. Now, looking at Anatoly here, he does have Hand of the Gods 2 available to him, which means he's going to have a lot of pressure in lane. He chose actually not to go for Eat Minion in the beginning, as to ensure that when he goes to lane, he has more damage with Butcher's Blades, and given the fact that he's
invade. That's why he went for it. It wasn't for the Eat Minion, DM. It was for the aggression, and they might be able to take away the blue. The hog's down, but he's going to go over to Cognitive Gaming the defend, and now they're going to have to rotate around the back, which is going to give Dignitas a free bit of pushing power in this lane.
So what's weird to me is that was so far beyond the execute range that if they just handed normally, they still would have taken that. It seems strange that they were so defensive there. I think Cog might be a little wary after that first blood went down.
Yeah, maybe they were. I mean, they were already 1-0 down just after that first kill. They don't want to fall behind further. As you can see, Zapman with that extra wave clear at the start of this game. Obviously, the Astral Quiver during the early game is very aggressive. Great knock-up from Shadow Q twice in a row. And Barracuda chunked to half health.
Now, more pressure coming through on the left side. You're going to see that tower actually start to take damage this early in the game. Zapman having no issue starting this off strong.
Not at all, and this is what we were saying, DM, is when Rom is put onto a person who understands the god and has played it a little bit more, you're going to see this sort of aggression coming out, because Rom's wave clear is pretty effective when he has a full Astral Quiver. He can outpush in the early stages, but it's when he gets to the mid-game, he's going to lack his wave clear that you'll see coming out from the likes of Barracuda on Apollo, when he can just use it as so beautiful.
So Andy's going to pause here. As you can see, Dignitas is going to be splitting this bottom camp here on the invade. Both the best and lastest, especially with that Hand of the Gods, are going to clear that up very quickly and get that, despite the fact that the rotation from Anister is coming in.
And we're going to see as well, we can see Lazis has actually gone for the Death's Toll start just to help his jungle. A lot of people say that Mercury in the jungle needs the Death's Toll just to sustain a little bit easier. It makes his clear a little bit more effective than a Bomber's Mask, but most of the time, you know, people understand at this level that Death's Toll is a very aggressive item and you have to make it pay for itself early. Otherwise, Bomber's Mask will make a bigger impact as the game goes on.
So now left side, we're seeing a rotation in pretty early from Lassus. Now the last time that we checked in with Lassus in the finals using this character, he was shut down pretty heavily in the end game. They just focused him out throughout the entire map and ensured that it couldn't happen now. But this time, things seem to be much different. This is now the second kill that Special Delivery is going to secure.
The body blocking coming out from the team there of ShadowQ, and Laz is just standing in front to make sure Jeff couldn't get away from that and giving the kill over to Zapman. A 2-0 lead for him now over Barracuda in this lane. And you can see the goal difference, 700 at 2.5 minutes in, is a big difference, DM, in terms of hunters.
So now, top lane, I mean top side, they're already getting the red buff. Lassus' farm has been huge so far. I mean, taking a look at the board, Andy's level 4 as well, but I mean, you can just see the difference in control experience per minute on Lassus, 364. Andy actually only 292, so Lassus actually procs into level 5, and we're not going to see that on Andy for a while.
Look at the right-hand side, though. Our Megatron's very, very low here as well. He's hit level 5 just now. Anatoly went very aggressive, but regurgitates on cooldown. And Toly's not aware that Andy's on the backside. Gonna find some little bit of damage, but not gonna be able to secure any more than that as Toly jumps away. Mid-camp spawning soon.
So now, 3 minutes, they have the mid-camp control on at least the left side. Talking about Dignitas, the rotation here from Athena. Talking about Jeff Hindla, not good enough. Right side, they have an opportunity on COG to take this freely, and they should, and get out immediately. They need to get more farm going because they're already down by 1,400.
So equal split in the mid-camps overall. Both mid laners involved. Jungler and Dignitas getting the experience. Meanwhile, Andy of Cognitive Gaming going to be picking up the experience. A Sonic Boom in mid from Lars connects straight away. I'm a monster straight after. Holy moly, that was fast.
He actually almost got some damage onto Stealth there too, who was pushed into a rather precarious position as he's forced back. Now he does still have a lot of mana and of course a lot of health, but he's not going to have the same amount of clear at this point. I like the defensive heal, though, considering how long it takes Scylla to push. I think that was a really good play from Stealth.
Yeah, really, really good play overall. He had to make the decision there. And look at the left-hand side. Zapman's consistently pushed into the tower. He's been 2v1 for a while because ShadowQ was on the rotations to mid lane. And he's consistently pushing in 2 members of Cognitive Gaming on this side. He's going aggressive here, actually.
Yeah, they're going to try to push in. You're going to see Jeff forced out once again. Andy's going to rotate over, and I don't think there are any wards. He's going to go up here. Now, look at Hindla's health here. I don't really love this. Nice bait coming out. Zapman, Astral Barrage, going to be good, but when he comes down, he's going to be in some trouble.
Oh, he lets all 3. He's going to find Jeff Hindla. Can he get out of dodge now? No, he's not. Does find all 3 strikes of the Astral Barrage, and that's what we were discussing, DM. I think that's the first all 3 attacks landed, one after the other, coming out from the Hunter today. It's not. The circle does get smaller as time goes on. However, each circle that gets smaller, it does more damage on the smaller the circle.
It feels like the same amount of time it takes to land Thor's ult almost. I mean, you have to really lead your shots, especially those last 2, and especially that last one. It's super tiny, takes a long while to get down, but man, if it hits, it pays off big. And despite the fact that they traded Jeff Hindla, the support, for, the carry that was ahead, 3-1, talking about Zapman, I'd still give that one to Dignitas, considering how much they used to take Zapman, the rotation that was happening, and the fact that Shing was still farming.
I mean, when you look at Zapman as well, he did just die, go back to base, 3-1-0, has Devour's Gauntlets and Boots online. Meanwhile, Barracuda only just gone back and finished that Dev's Gauntlets, and he's also got beads to Zapman, so that's even, more of a big win for him to be able to avoid 1 taunt, 1 mez coming out from that duo lane.
More pressure coming out overall around the map just by ward coverage. You see those little blue dots all over the place, trying to control a little bit better than they have been. Dig's rotations have been very strong in the early game. They got the first blood. They got a few picks since then, only losing 1 in the process, and they have a 1,500 gold lead at the 6-minute mark with no objectives even touched at this point. That's a huge turn.
It really is. 1,500 gold, 1,500 experience. Left-hand side, you're going to see even Jeff going to be rotating over here to secure this camp that Andy wanted to make sure he had, but also to absorb some experience as well so he doesn't fall too far behind. I mean, he's already 2 levels behind. Jediku, Astral Barrage used by Zapman, looking for a possibility of a damage. Not going to find the first shot or the second just out of range. That was his maximum range there. That's why you saw him miss those shots.
Oh, I thought he was gardening.
He was doing a bit of both.
Yeah, just a little bit of hedge clips. Good stuff.
Just bring it down. Just bring it down a level so we can see over for next shots. That's what he was thinking. I'll just chop these trees out of the way.
But at the same time, Dignitas still manages to secure both mid camps, maintains pressure in all lanes, and takes the top red buff with little pressure whatsoever, which I'm sure we're going to see best go back and pick up in just a second after this wave was cleared. And boy, was it cleared quickly.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, Zapman's getting the pressure on. He's level 10 now, and his wave play is going to be very effective. 2 levels over Barracuda. Thor's going to go up here, though, looking for an opportunity right now. He's going to dunk down, not going to find it, as across the skies coming out from Barracuda as well. And Shadow is actually on the backside with the shield for Zapman, but Zapman's in a world of hurt. The beads are going to pay off, and now the turnaround is possible, but Athena, Sonic Boom, comes across, doesn't connect. I'm a monster. Where's he going to land?
Oh, Best actually kind of choked that one. He's going to throw it. He'll get some damage done, but he doesn't quite get the push he was looking for. Nice Sicko. Going to throw it onto Barra there. Uses the Mesmerize. He is completely out of mana. Gets picked up by Shadow Q, the support.
Oh, Laz is still going deep. Special delivery does connect. Going to get taunted by Jeff under the tower, but Shadow Q's there to defend.
Ooh!
MLC with the snipe. Can he clean up the rest?
He's tried. He actually manages to find 2. Despite the fact that Dig only found 1, they turned that one around pretty quickly thanks to a great rotation and an absolutely beautiful shot coming out from Stealth.
This is the thing about these two teams, though, DM. Like, they are the top 2 teams in North America right now, proven over a 10-week period, proven by how well they do at the tournaments as well when we see them at the LAN events, like the launch tournament. And they go backwards and forwards all the time, DM. They see each other every week, pretty much in the finals all the time, and just face off and have these amazing games where it goes backwards and forwards. It's always so close.
So now 5-3 at the 8-minute mark, we see a lead of still 1,500 gold for Dignitas. This is exactly where we saw them previously. But 2,000 gold as well, I mean rather experience, puts them a little bit deeper than they were before. And with the pressure that Anatoly has kept on Omega, I think it can be strong to start rotating in. In fact, I don't really like this push. He's going to get some damage to Omega, but that was a wasted ultimate. He had no follow-up potential there whatsoever.
That's in trouble again. The Thor's going to dunk down, defending with Olympus used on Barracuda as well to try and reduce it, but Astral Barrage used by Zap. Going to find 2 of the 3 hits, and he takes a lot of damage, but it's a great wall to disengage from the roll. Can they find an auto? That's all they need for Zapman to die.
Oh, Zapman actually gets a small amount of healing there. Sonic Boom not going to hit anybody.
The snipe hits.
Finds a beautiful kill over the wall. I'm a Monster's going to land, do some damage, but not nearly enough to deter as MLC Stealth applies the slow from Divine Light. He's going to get another combo thrown up by the Best, but it's just not enough to deter them.
Lazis is caught in between a rock and a hard place. Now he's turning it into a beautiful woman known as Athena, and that's going to be a Gold Fury, I feel. Or is it? They're going to back away.
Geb's rotating down. Best is still full health. It would be risky at this point, and I think they recognize that. Take the win. Take the, that small amount that you gained and just push with it. They're 700 gold behind now as opposed to 1,500, and the experience difference has been normalized.
I mean, that's helped out a little bit. The one difference, we're talking about the golden experience DM on the map right now. It's still in favor of Dignitas. Look at Barracuda and look at Zapman between the two. There's a level ahead now. Zapman thanks to Barracuda getting some of that, but the gold difference is just over 600 still at the moment. It was 1,200 a second ago, but those kills and that extra farm he just picked up did close the gap a little bit, but that amount of difference is almost, a third of an item there.
It's modest, but it's something.
Red buff being taken away by Cognitive, now going to be going over to MLC Stealth. Not surprising, he's been on point with his snipes so far, DM.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on point with not only his snipes, but maybe somewhat late rotations, but getting himself into team fights, space control in the mid lane, and forcing the Best to really work for those first few levels despite the early gains in gold for Dignitas. And it boils down to the fact that his presence of mind is just super strong. He's 3-0-1 right now, Hindu, and now he's picking up that golden sash. Likely going to be Warlock's going to make him super tanky going into the mid game.
Yeah, we'll see how that's going to pay off for him as we see Shadow Q rotating back to the duo lane along with where Jeff Hindler and Barracuda are there as well. Jeff a little bit behind in his build at the moment. You can see the Iron Mail online for Geb, Shadow Q at the moment, and Barrett Zapman wants to go aggressive consistently. This is a sort of god I expected Zapman to love when this Hunter was released, because that role doesn't have to be used defensively, it can be used offensively as well.
That's right. By using it offensively, it also applies a cripple if you have an Astral Arrow in your quiver to your next basic attack, which makes him very, very potent in chasing down, on top of the fact that he has a attack speed steroid and that ultimate that just reaches so far.
It really does. I mean, and that ultimate can make a big impact as well as time goes on. If you can get the opportunity to sit on the back line and pick off targets, and when they run away because they've been pushed away from you, you can just jump up, look for the snipes, and your team will be able to protect you, especially someone like Shadow Q playing Geb with those shields when you land in case you get in trouble.
So, 11 minutes into the game here, a little closer to 12. We're even in kills, something that we've been seeing a lot in our past couple games. Everyone's really coming out to play today. 5-5, though Dignitas does maintain a lead of 1,000 gold. They also have a 400 experience difference, as we're seeing a pretty fair grouping here over at the Gold Fury. Now, there is a sentry ward down in favor of the guys on Cognitive, something that cannot be answered right now by Dignitas. If they catch Geb backing to the base, that could be a free attempt for them, so Shadow Q is just going to have to play babysitter.
This is one of those moments in the game when all the camps are down in the jungle, apart from just 2 back experience camps at the moment. And so the junglers are going to be looking for an opportunity to get some pressure on a lane, pick up some farm, because junglers need to continue farming to stay relevant in the game and not fall behind. And in doing so, you give up map position sometimes if you choose the wrong opportunity to engage on. So keep an eye on the junglers all times. Mid camp's finally coming up though, so we should see some fight contention around them. Lars just spotted out Andy and Jeff Hindler on that side there. So they know the left-hand side is going to be the one to be contested, and Dignitas want to fight for it.
So it looks like all of Dig on this camp are just ready to fight for it freely. They're probably going to get this. Oh, wait. Taunt,
Ball's
shield
going up.
wall. It looks like that one's going to go, but Lassus gets picked off. I don't think that's worth for Dig.
Is it not going to be worth it at all? As you see, the aggression coming out as Megatron rotated all the way over. Zapman's going to get dropped instantly as well. Anatoly was very late on that rotation over. And now the Gold Fury's been started by Cognitive. But Anatoly is here with Regurgitate. Is he going to be able to find anything? Well, that wall will delay him for now. And the best is very low at the moment. But he's going to have good damage with the crush if he can land it. And Shadow Q's going to look for the steal. Not going to find it though. As Cognitive taking down. Regurgitate's doing damage.
The best actually finds 2 really nice shots. One of them being I'm a Monster, which earns him a kill onto a Megatron. But honestly, too little, too late. Stealth actually going to find a kill there with the heal. And Anatoly gets baited into 2 stuns. The crush doesn't go off in time enough even to do damage to Stealth. So that's going to be 2 free kills on top of a Gold Fury. They did drop Omega, but I feel like that was a completely separate instance. Stealth didn't, or rather, Best didn't need to die for that. He should have just left immediately, and he got greedy.
Pawn gonna land onto Lars, and there's the wall. The snipe comes out once more. Lars gets dropped very low. Special delivery can survive. Andy goes in with the Thor hammer, but not gonna find it. Zapman picks him up. Zapman's too big. That's the only issue that Cognitive have here. Zapman is very, very strong right now.
That was perfect. I mean, honestly, Zapman couldn't have played that engagement better. There's nothing he could have changed to increase his value in that fight. He earned a kill, he stopped the tower, he saved his teammate. Brilliant play by Zap.
It works out for him, and now he might even get the potential of stealing away the blue buff from Barracuda as well. So Apollo going to be without a blue buff, so going to have to watch it when he tries to use the Across the Skies. Jeff's going to be too late to try and contest that one. Tower stands, and Dignitas hold for now.
So now, we're pretty deep into the game. We're almost 15 minutes. Only 1 Gold Fury has gone down. We have wards at Fire Giant already, but no towers have been touched yet. I mean, we see, like, the left hand took 3 people to bring it down to half. Like, no towers are really in contention for getting pushed down just yet. So I think we're seeing a rather defensive game, which is strange coming out from Cognitive and from Dignitas, who are normally so aggressive.
I feel it's more along the lines of the rotations. As soon as they push the lane in DM, they're all rushing to other lanes to fight or to look for opportunities. So they're not trying to push on tower pressure. They're trying to rotate and look for kills. Like MLC's been very late to the rotations, and that's because the best is pushing hard. Is Shadow Q going to go aggressive on the left side? Going to try and see if they can find Jeff Hindler here. As the sprint's been popped by Zapman, and MLC Stealth's been ulted by Athena here. Was that for an escape? I'm guessing, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I guess he was just trying to get out, but why get out in the 3v4 engagement? Why not push in? Looking at the board here, we still had an ultimate from Barracuda. We still had the Searing Pain coming out from MLC Stealth, a shot that we have yet to see him miss.
So now we're going to be at that point in the game again where the left-hand mid-camp's going to spawn once more. Shadow Q already in the area. Wards going down from both teams. Actually, just Shadow Q's team of Dignitas on this left-hand side. Actually, they've both got a vision of it, as this one's going to be contested once again.
I'm really focusing a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. Look at this. Jeff Hindler taking a lot of damage. Kata only going to hit Stealth. In fact, doesn't do that much, but Jeff Hindler's going down.
Zap hit all 3 snipes on Jeff Hindler from halfway across the map at his own blue buff, and now across the skies is popped by Barracuda. Gonna look where to come down. He's gonna choose Zapman, but Zapman instantly rolls away back to the safety of his team, and that was a small little win for Dignitas.
You know, I think Zap is the first person to really exemplify the power that Rama brings to the table.
Oh, look at him left side now, right now. He's putting the pressure on Barracuda, going to continue the chase. Forces out the Mez, and Apollo going to live to fight another day for now, but out of mana.
Yeah, he has to go back to the base. He doesn't have any pressure left. This is a free wave of experience for Zap to farm, on top of the fact that he's also going to get some tower damage if Barra decides to go back. He's actually going to stick around. But with that amount of mana, what can he really do?
Well, he's looking to farm the wave and hope Zapman doesn't pressure, and that's exactly right. He called Zapman's bluff on that one, and it paid off for him. So he's going to pick up the whole wave of experience. Then he'll back before Zapman can get back. But where's Zapman going right now? He's looking for something, but there's nothing to find. Or is he going to try and catch anything? Where's he going?
Yeah, he sees 2 people at the small camp, realizes this isn't for me. Now, he hasn't really lost anything. He could have gotten some tower damage, sure. But at the same time, he has not missed a single point of experience. He's rotated around to keep his side of the lanes safe. So he has presence and now peace of mind.
But notice how he went back as well, DM. He went back safe through all the way back near his blue buff, just in case somebody was in the enemy jungle that could have caught him out of position there. He got spotted. So do it wisely. And now you're going to see him last hit these minions and try and freeze the wave to an extent until he sees Barracuda's back to deny a little bit of experience wherever possible.
About 20 seconds until the camp on the right side comes up. You see Anatoly had rotated in, but has let it go. Best is still in the neighborhood. Great double sick him to double crush. Actually, Andy just barely escaped that one.
He did really well to escape that one, honestly. He timed it perfectly on the hammer, got max distance on it as well as got away. But right side camp, gonna spawn contention. 3 members of Cognitive Gaming gonna be here. And you can see Dignitas just give this one up, as on the other side you can see Laz is looking for an opportunity. I think he just used Sonic Boom actually, didn't actually find Barracuda. Barracuda's still alive.
Nice pressure. Best gonna be pushed back, Shadow Q pushed back as well. But the rotation over from Lassus might prove unfavorable in a second. No, he spots and he recognizes through team communication what was going on and will be able to retreat not only safely, but dealing a little damage in the process.
Now, Andy's trying to be aggressive over here, puts the wall down. Golf Fury's just respawned as well as Zapman going aggressive in the jungle. Got to try and find out Jeff Hindler doesn't land the cripple, though. So that's not going to be effective for the time being. Although he won't be maxing the Rolling Assault cripple at the moment. He'll be looking at getting his 2 online and his 1 first of all. The cripple does scale as time goes, and it's only 1 second to begin with, DM. But then it does scale all the way up to, I believe it's 2 seconds flat. So as time goes on, it will slowly get more effective as a cripple. But did miss that shot, so Jeff's fine for now.
Anatoly not missing any experience, only looks like 2 creeps worth of gold, which is pretty strong considering he's level 17 right now. He's keeping himself in the game at least, but Omega's 18. Omega at this point has 400 more gold and a character that functions much more strongly in the end game.
And look at his build as well. I mean, Omega's build on this right now, he started the Runeforge Hammer, gone into the Hide of the Urchin, so he's going to do a lot of damage. He'll be very, very tanky as this game continues onwards. And the fact that we've not really seen his presence in teamfights just yet, DM, when he does get to them, ooh-wee, is that going to be an issue for Dignitas to deal with?
So the Gold Fury has come back up. It's respawned, ready to be contended, though it has been warded, Hinduman, by both teams. Looking at the board, we see 1 sentry coming out from Andy, but we have a sentry coming out on both Lassus and Anatoly. Now, given the fact that Anatoly is unlikely to be rotating to this side of the map anytime soon, we're really looking to Lassus and to Anidster, the junglers on the team, to try to clean up. Now, with... Oh, wait, where did it go? Did he lose it?
I'm not sure Shadow Q could get caught out here though by the taunt and the wall. The damage onto Shadow Q's real as the saving pain connects. Has to use the Cataclysm defensively. Gonna rotate it over. And now Andy's going to try and survive. As you can see, Athena using the ultimate to try and zone out and reduce the damage. Now Omega pops the big baby looking for more as Apollo is in the sky.
1 shot, 2, 3 coming out, actually landing 1 and 3 to Jeff Hindler. Barracuda comes through. They're looking for an opportunity to pick up Lassus, but he's just too quick. Sonic Boom's going to be used to get through stealth, and he'll be on his escape path as Omega begins to get chased down as well. Nice heal, going to land onto 3 people. Anatoly and the best both take a Celestial Beam to the back on their path, but a good Sycamore, and I'm a monster, plus a few shots from Zap will burn down stealth, and now Omega's going to face the wrath of Ram as well.
And Rami's going to continue this one on because the Astral Strike will slow them down and delay it. So he's a 2 for 2 so far. But Barracuda is full health. Best wants to go and find out what's going on. And Jeff's going to say, hey, leave me alone. But Crush is going to hit as well as the Sycam. An immediate Sentinel usage. But meanwhile, mid.
Andy actually finds a kill, but gets picked up back-to-back by Anatoly. No problem. I think if there's one thing we're learning this game, it's how strong is the 7th avatar of Vishnu compared to the 5th? Like, whew.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're both pretty good, honestly. They both bring different things to the table. I think Rom's very, very strong in the right hands, DM. I've said this time and time again. And the likes of Zapman, you're going to see more and more of his full potential as time goes on. He's still first days. Anatoly could catch Barracuda out of position, but got to watch it because he's going to take a bit of poke damage. Overall, eats a minion, defends the tower for now, and that's, I guess, all he was trying to do there.
So more pressure into the mid lane. Hanging on by a thread is that tier 1 tower. Looking at the gold, really 400 gold at this point in the game is irrelevant.
Nothing.
The experience was just 6 a second ago. 6 experience separated the teams.
And that shows how well the Cognitive do to get back into this game. They were behind quite considerably for quite a long period of this game, DM. And now it's 21 minutes in the game. Gold Fury's still standing. But look at the tower damage that Cognitive Gaming have done to Dignitas. Those frontline towers are starting to be chipped down, and theirs seem to be very, very pristine.
More pressure coming out on the left side as we're going to see Megatron on the right get put into a really bad spot facing 2 majorly quick auto attackers just try to burn down. He's living for now. It looks like he will be able to
Best's going to find one, and across the sky we're going to see coming out from Barracuda chasing to Shadow King. Will he find the auto attacks? I don't think so, as Omega continues to survive on this side. Barracuda does pick up Shadow. That's 2 quick kills from that rotation from Thor. Andy looking for the dunk, finds it, and all Zapman could do is split push.
Omega's got to be super quick back to this tier 2. Zapman's going to find a tier 1, but the Gold Fury will be picked up. That's 1,000 gold for 1,500, on top of the fact that they did pick up 2 kills as well. Cognitive actually winds up majorly favored in that fight, now up 2k.
Oh, Zapman could be in trouble here. He's not on Apollo. He's put a ward down, but he's going to find Jeff Hindler in his face. Doesn't know Andy's waiting there, and so is MLC Stealth. The ward's going to deny him an exit. He's going to prop the sprint, but there's a great hammer from Andy to slow them down again. But look at the Astral Barrage going to slow them down. MLC aside on the backside. Astral Barrage, how much damage? Misses the second. Can he find the third? He's not going to find it. Rolls out of dodge for now. But how long can he survive? The Astral Barrage, the taunt, the wall. He's still going, but nope, he does finally drop.
15-11 now. Cog leads by 4,000 gold, and it's only getting worse as we're seeing on the left side. That tier 1 is primed to go down. 4,700 plus 3,700 experience. Cog has completely taken control of this game.
So both the solo laners now level 20, MLC Stealth level 20. The best a little bit behind by 2 levels at the moment. Not hit his full prime yet, and that's when I'm a Monster starts dealing even more damage than it already did, DM. When that comes online, that's when you know we're starting to hit late game.
So we're 24 minutes in. Jeff Hindler's getting some solo farm here. You can see he's level 15 right now, equal to Shadow Q. Despite the fact that he gave up First Blood, Jeff is 3-4-8 compared to a modest 1-3-4. So neither support massively ahead of the other in terms of overall usefulness, though it seems Jeff Hindler right now is 1,000 gold ahead, which can play pretty well considering what he's built so far. And I love that Emerald Talisman pickup. I think that's very smart. It's going to give him more sustainability in fights.
Remember when we were talking about Shadow being ahead in terms of itemization build, and now you can see it's Jeff Hindler who's the one ahead? That shows the quality of these 2 supports, that they can go backwards and forwards like that. Lazzy's going to get caught out with good shield, but he's not going to avoid the taunt, but the beads is forced, and that's going to make sure the Syrian Bane does not connect from MLC Stealth, and now you're going to look for Laz to re-engage, possibly with the Sonic Boom, as you can see the Sentinel over the wall from the Best coming out there as well.
MLC Stealth rotating in, actually activating Divine Light, forcing the blink from Shadow Q as Andy lands down. So does Barracuda. They're going all in here. They force out the beats from Best, who jumps out last as Sonic Boom right through 2 people. Will pick up Barracuda for free as they're going to turn their sights around. Best still in Monster form. Don't think he's getting anything here.
Zap is here. He's got the sprint online. Going to keep auto-attacking to his best of his ability. Get those astral strikes off. Meanwhile, Omega does take out Anatoly's 1v1 as they try to rotate to this team fight that's breaking out. And now Andy's going to use the hammer to get away because he's going to get chased down by the whole team of Dignitas.
I don't like Dig chasing all of these kills right now. They should be grouping up and possibly going for the Fire Giant. They have the vision control with that Sentry. They know that they can do it and force out Strain's positioning. Although Athena is in tandem, ready to push in. You see Jeff Hindler with the Magi's Blessing, ready to push forward. Can he do it?
Here we see Jeff Henley going to have to go aggressive. He's already lost the Medjais, and now you're going to see Lazzy's doing a nice number to Omega, but Omega going to back out for now. And they're still slowly poking this one down. Zartman happy to farm, but here's Jeff looking for the taunt. Is he going to find it? Cock steal it! Cock steal it away! Jeff, the sex Hindler, finds the Fire Giant, and Cognitive, a big win there.
How does he do it? He just walked right in and said, this is mine. Thank you. No problem.
He did that. He just taunted and just took it. Like, alright, peace, I'm out. He did die for the trouble, but that shows the true support, honestly. True support that dies for his team for a Fire Giant and giving the buff to all the other members. Big play coming out from Cognitive Gaming and Jeff Hindler.
Jeff is just, I mean, this is what Jeff is known for. Putting himself in a terrible position, somehow not only getting it, but finding his team a kill in the process. Lassus does go down. Now, Lassus has opted here into Spike Gauntlet. I'm sure we're going to see this is going to be Curse Gauntlet, and then more than likely a Blood Forge. I doubt this late in the game.
Zap going to find Barracuda, get a good cripple. Look at the burst damage coming out. Barra's had to pop sprint. He's trying to run to the best of his ability, but Zap's going to have ultimate here. Is he going to use it? That's the question. He is, you know. He's going to go up. Can he find the shots? One going to miss. Two going to miss. Three, no, too deep. Got to escape. Barracuda lives to fight another day.
I actually don't even know if two of those hits, thinking 1 and 3, would have sealed the deal. You'll notice that he activated the Mesmerize in the middle of that engagement, ensuring that he had extra protections. Very smart. And that, I mean, those are the kinds of plays that really separate the top-level Hunter players and the ranked Hunter player monsters. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just knowing the difference, you know, just knowing that might give you the edge in survival. A lot of people won't realize that protection buff could be the difference between life and death. And knowing to be able to do that, DM, on a split-second impulse is very difficult.
It shows a lot of practice with the character and a lot of overall understanding of how to play Smite correctly. And that's something we see from both Zap and Barracuda, who just dived a tower.
Barra just went in and went, okay, Zap, let's go. But Zapman got the tower to his defense, and you can see the whole of Dignitas quickly grouping around as the best rotates over with the Sentinel. And Laz is charging that Sonic Boom. Is he going to find something? He is, you know. And I'll see Stealth, though, immediately uses the Aegis. And now Thor's up, Thor's down. What's going to happen?
They're trying to find something. Zapman actually winds up not taking any damage there due to the Geb shield, though he does take some. You know, there's a Tumik gonna double proc as Zap tries to find his way out. He gets picked off. I'm a monster! Gonna find one! What? I'm a monster, not gonna find two. The best super low. Last trying to make something happen, but he's gonna go down here. Actually, Geb shield so cute, and he stays alive for now. Last is just trying to escape as Omega rotates in. Anatoly too late to the party, and not nearly enough damage to contend. That's a free Gold Fury.
It is a free Gold Fury, but look at this left-hand side. Cognitive are thinking about pushing in this tier 2 tower first of all. That's what they're looking to do. The minion waves technically push with Barracuda as well, still alive. The Hunter's going to be able to poke this one down very quickly, but Anatoly does have a lot of damage if he can get in there, but he's not got to regurgitate. He's going to get bursted in a second. Ow!
That was, I mean, this is the weakness of Bakasura. Early game, you have enough potential in damage from Butcher's Blades, from talking about level 3 to level 9, to really burst people down.
Is this a
Late
Phoenix?
game, your true damage means nothing. The attack speed that he has just isn't enough. The chin size don't apply fast enough, and he's just too squishy to deal it.
It looks like they're trying to end. Thor's going in. They're going to go for the fast end. Rom is up though, and Zapman's going to do a lot of damage with that Super Barrage as well as the Titan. Jeff's trying to run for his life right now as Andy's getting very low as well, and they're taking hits massively. Jeff's going to try to get out, and now Omega pops the ultimate, but now Dignitas have him on the run. The chase is on as you see the Astral Barrage. Who's he going to go for? Jeff? Two. Not going to find the third. Jeff lives for now. Can Shadow finish it off?
No!
Sonic Boom will!
Last is out of nowhere with the Sonic Boom, gonna clean that one up, and they're gonna turn their sights to Andy. I don't know what Andy thinks he's doing, but he is very dead.
Is he going to be able to get a Thor hammer out? That's the question. Is he going to be able to get away? He uses the beads. There's the knock-up. Not going to hit. Juking around, just wasting his time. There's the hammer. Delayed the that beats. Laz is looking for the cooldown more than anything there. Just going to find it. Special delivery. That's enough.
So the Titan dive probably ill-conceived. They should have just backed off, either went for another Phoenix or taken the Gold Fury. Either one would have been free. They try to get a little handsy and end the game against Rama Geb. Something they probably should have realized is a bad idea, considering when COG made their miraculous comeback against Snipe in the launch tournament, they did it because Geb made a 4-man Cataclysm, which was exactly the turnaround we just saw.
Well, we're going to see Laz and Zap hunting, trying to find MLC stuff. Not going to find it for now. And Laz eats a Celestial Beam for his pleasure of that one now. As we can see, Dignitas are the ones that are being the aggressors right now, even though look at all those those Fire Minions pushing into the base right now, DM.
You'll get some damage here, not nearly enough to make a dent. I mean, especially with how low the minions were in the front line. Best is already back. Shadow Q is already back. Sure, it took him maybe 15 to 20% of his health, but nothing really to write home to mom about. Fire Giant has respawned. They need to use this opportunity to really push, and for some reason, Barracuda's going back to the base.
Barracuda is going to go back for now.
For a red pot.
He's going to pick up the red pot as well. I mean, he's named a full build right now. He realized how important this is going to be. I'm just looking through his item build right now. He's still got his Death Toll at the moment, not got his Deathbringer online. But look at this, that man went for a Deathbringer over the Rage pickup here, DM. Looking for that extra damage.
I like it. I love the Deathbringer pickup. It's 50 damage out of the gate on top of a 20% chance to swing for an extra 150% damage. I mean, that's massive.
It is, especially if you can do that through all the people with an Astral Quiver on someone like Ram as well. That could crit through everybody. So we'll see how this one goes on right now. As we can see, Dignitas going to start sieging the Fire Giant. But the last time they did this, Jeff came in and just took it away. And with Fire Minions still pushing down this left-hand side, someone has to defend.
Now, COG had a really rough start in the beginning, but they've done more than turn that around. They're up 6,600 gold going into the Fire Giant engagement, meaning they do have a fair advantage, not only in item builds, but you can see they have decent map control, or they did before Dignitas just placed all those tier monster wards just everywhere.
So I'm going to try and push in mid lane. Got to be careful to get caught out of position. Actually got here, and he didn't have the roll available. Has to use beads there. That's a big win overall for Cognitive just in that one little skirmish.
Right side, Anatoly, just trying to keep the lane pushed out. I really think he should be looking in. He could use his Regurgitate on the Fire Giant to try to burst some damage down with those with the extra help of the minions, but the pressure is going in. Yeah, we're seeing Jeff Himmler dive into the back line. Stealth throws out the beam, nothing to hit. Barracuda is getting ready to land. He's running out of mana.
That popped ult is in a bad position, but they're not aware of it. They could have actually just engaged on him there, but Zap's going to get away with that one overall. He did pop his ult. Now Barracuda going to swing left-hand side and put some pressure on this left-hand lane. Needs to watch his positioning, though, because Anatoly is back there, and he could get collapsed on. But then the Fire Giant is being begun by Cognitive. They're regrouping at the Fire Giant once again.
Oh, awkward heal. Looks like they're going to be going into the backline. Omega trying to fight multiple people by himself as Athena rotates in. Stun not going to be good from Annister. And there goes the taunt. They're looking at the best here. Does a lot of damage, but it looks like he's going down.
He is going to go down sooner rather than later. There he goes. And now Lazis turns it around on Omega, though, as the big baby comes to an end. And he's going to continue his damage on as Zapman's trying to survive as well. But Cognitive come out on top as Lazis still surviving with Anatoly. But can they hold the base now?
I don't think they can. I mean, they're going to at least lose the left Phoenix, but it's two major auto attackers versus a long slew of people who have a lot of CC. Anatoly gets picked up for free. This will be a free Phoenix here. Laz can't control 3 people. There's just no way.
No, not at all, especially someone like Mercury with the major look. That's the only sort of wave clear he's going to have against these Fire Minions pouring in. And on the other side of that, look at the fact it's MLC Stealth. He's going to have that healing Barracuda with the crits and the taunts. Laz is just going to have to give this one up.
That's the first one. No one's respawning on Dig for at least 20 seconds here as they turn on to Lassus. This could actually be the end. They have 15 seconds to end this game. We're going to go ahead and call this one, guys. GG. COG takes game 1 and is 1 game closer to first seed for LAN.
Yep, 1 game closer. All they need to do now is just win 1 more game out. They will move on to become champions of the SWC after 10 weeks, DM. And it's been backwards and forwards between these two teams all the time through the whole 10 weeks.
And that's got to be heartbreaking for Dig. I mean, going into the launch tournament, Dig came in 2nd seed North America because COG was just becoming unstoppable. Now, the same kind of story is being spelled out here. We haven't seen COG really get pressured in a long time.
So we're going to go straight into the game again, I believe, DM. He's going to go straight back in one more time. As we can see, you've still not materialized again. I'm still alone. I'm looking for you. I just don't see you. You just left me.
It is what it is.
It is what it is indeed. And we've had some great games today so far. I mean, the hype has been real. I mean, we saw the games from Cognitive Red and 5 Angry Men. 5 Angry Men tried their hardest to make it to the LAN. Not going to make it, though. Cognitive Red are going to take that 4th place position away from them just at the brink of time, thanks to the help of Snipe and Jerby's Ale Kwong ultimates, of all things, DM.
That's right.
Of all the things to save the day, an Ale Kwong.
It was the Al Kwong ultimate that changed the entire course of whether 5 Angry Men were going to that LAN or not. It was really that one ultimate, that 3-man hit, that saved the day for Cognitive Red.
Really did. So we'll go into this one anyway, guys. Dignitas versus Cognitive Gaming. Once again, we're just waiting for the games to load in. As I continue talking to you, as I'm the only one on camera, and DM can pretend to like pull faces and everything right now. It's not fair. I don't
I'm
like
sticking my tongue out at you.
I bet you are. At least it's your tongue and not something else. That's all I'm saying.
Rude.
You're rude. You can't call me rude.
We should be getting into
Coming
just
from
a second,
you.
guys. Now remember, Dignitas needs 2 games to win this set. If they do win, they take first seed back. If they do not win this game, Cognitive Gaming will retain their first seed slot. Now, granted, Dignitas gave up their first seed contention last week when they attended a LAN tournament, but I can't imagine they're too mad given the fact that they had a pretty big payday.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it paid off for them to go to that as well, and also expose Smite to the world even more and more exposure for Smite. The more players, the more competition. The more competition, the greater the prize pools. The greater the prize pools, the more ridiculous skins like Swaggany and Apollo come out. So I got hyped. I don't know how I transitioned to that. Was a great transition, DM.
That new Apollo is just so cool.
Oh, that helicopter ultimate. That's amazing.
I love it.
Makes me so happy all the time to see it. So, guys, if you just tuned in, we're going to see Dignitas, Cognitive Gaming, Snipe, and Cognitive Red are going to be the ones that are going to make it for North America through to the LAN tournament. But we're going to sit here now waiting for, finally, Dignitas and Cognitive to get into the second game, which they're taking the tab about, DM.
Yeah, I expected us to be in this game already.
Production's apologizing to us. It's all good. Don't worry about it, production. I love you guys too. It's fine. I'll just sit here on camera looking like an English dope, just sat in a suit in his bedroom right about now, as it's really warm right now, which is very unusual.
Really?
It is.
It's unusual for it to be warm?
Yeah, it's really unusual for it to be warm. It's just raining here all the time. That's pretty much what happens where I live.
How warm is it?
In. Huh?
Okay, forget it.
I don't know.
I didn't care. I was just making competition.
Oh, wow, rude. See, rude. You called me rude.
You got me. All right, so we're in. And Dignitas has opted for a second pick, so it looks like neither team is angry with the way things turned out, though it's strange to see that Cognitive has banned out Janice.
Giannis banned out, and as well in response to Cyrus taken away again, and it goes back to Cognitive, who take out Aphrodite.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty expected. I mean, she hasn't seen a lot of play. I doubt we're going to see a lot of play from her. Osiris taking out Janice, Aphrodite, final ban. Kumbhakarna still on the table. We know Dignitas doesn't want to fight that. They banned it last game, but this time they're going to take out Athena.
I think that mixes things up because these guys are like focusing on Athena quite a lot, and we saw the plays coming out from Jeff Hindler there. Did you see the way he took that fire giant? I did. You guys at home did, because I even called him by his full name, which normally only his mother would do that, but I actually called him his full name there because he was so good on that play with the fire giant.
So looking back at the bans here, or rather the picks, Apollo gets locked in first for Cog when Rama is still available.
They like Barracuda.
They do. They
Apollo.
must.
That's it. That's
this could be the double Hindu pick here.
Barracuda. Oh, then I'm Ganu though. I was so excited for the double Hindu pick. Kumbhakarna Rama lane, and my dreams would come true.
Well, do you think that they're going to pick Rama again, actually, instead of Artemis?
I think they could still do that. I mean, they can do that. And will Cognitive ban it away, or were they comfortable with how Zapman played?
I don't think Cognitive really had too much trouble with it. I honestly think that in the end game, Zap wasn't able to put to the table what he would have with Art.
I agree. I don't think they got to a proper team fight where Zapman was able to get involved, like right from the outgo and the get-go. But this time, we're going to see Geb and Ra picked up, so he's going to be on the other foot this time. So Shadow Q actually going to be playing Kumbhakarna, and Jeff going to be playing that Geb. But now we are going to see Zapman once again playing Ram.
Yeah, it's going to get locked in.
I'm excited for this lane, really.
Yeah, I mean, this should be really strong. I mean, double Hindu lane is huge. A lot of CC. There's a cripple on top of the root. And don't forget, if Geb gets hit by Groggy Strike, he's going to take that entire Astral Barrage to the face. There's nothing he's doing about it.
Yeah, I mean, straight up in the air. You can go up and say hello to him as he's falling back down to earth with the epic uppercut, and then hit him in the face as he does so. So that's exactly what they're going to be looking to do. But Geb, at the same time, he can do a lot of protections against that. And now we're going to the banning phase once again. We're going to see Thor banned out by Team Dignitas, and on the other side, Bastet once again. Cognitive do not like Laz's playing Bastet.
Well, they also don't like him playing Loki, but there's nothing they can do about that one. Loki's going to be hovered on and likely locked in. This time, I'm sure the eyes are all on Anatoly, trying to maybe veer away from the Bakasura.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think he'll go Bakasura this game round. Maybe he'll look for something different. I don't feel like he really had an influence in that game at all, DM. Maybe it was because he was playing, Bakasura that he couldn't get there to the fights quick enough or something like that. I'm not sure what was going through the minds, but we'll see as it comes back to them. But at the moment, it's Cognitive's turn to pick once again, and they're currently hovering over Hunbats.
I like the Humbots pick, especially Andy. Andy is probably the best Humbots player world right now. I mean, his rotations are incredible. Anytime he has extra movement speed, it works out in dividends for him. It looks like we're going to see a Vamana pick once again for Omega, which was brilliant last game. What can you pick against the Vamana? This time, I want to see Chalk. Chang'e is still on the table. Habwa is still on the table. Habwa has a great matchup against Baby.
We've not seen Habwa all day.
Oh, look.
How
did you do that?
Well, we've not seen Habwa all day. Bang, he's picked.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a magician.
Sometimes. I am sometimes. You saw my ties. They're magical.
Yes, I saw your tie.
I was proud of my tie. I saved it for a special occasion.
So that's going to be it, guys. We're going to be jumping into Game 3 in just a few minutes, or rather Game 2. This is, qualifier point right now for Cognitive. If they take this, their first seed going into the LAN, and if they lose this, we're going to go into a Game 3. So stick around. We'll be right back. And we're coming back with what could be the conclusion of the Smite World Championship Qualifier Series as we watch the boys on COG attempt to close out the series and maintain their first seed placement against the boys on Team Dignitas.
Now, normally, DM, I don't have favorites in terms of players and teams, okay? But this game, I'm going to have to want Dignitas to win because they're running my boys in the duo lane in Kumbhakana and Rama. I want to see how this one plays out. I'm so excited for both my legendaries to be in a game. This is hype.
I'm very surprised to see with some of the awkward bans that go through, leaving Rama open, leaving Kumbha open, that they're not just opting to get rid of Vamana.
So many Hindu gods is just in this game. Just shows how good the Pantheon is, That's all I'm saying.
Last game they picked Bakasura. I didn't hear a word out of you.
Yeah, because Baka's not a good Hindu god. He's an evil Hindu god, and I like the good Hindu gods, That's my reasoning. I'm sticking to it, honest. But going over to Vamana, actually, in this game, he started the warded shield this time, and this is the first time we'll probably see Anseal picked up very, very early on, DM. He's rushing it against the hub wall lane, and that should pay some dividends to him as he goes later on into this game.
Yeah, it's going to be, when it's max stacks, once it's finished up, that's 50 damage. I think 60 magical protection, I think that sounds right in my head, on top of 15% cooldown reduction, which is going to bring him close to cap if he decides, or rather it will cap out if he decides to go into Jotuns.
So, at the start of this game, we're going to see the usual start from both sides. The mid-camp split evenly. You can see Apollo and Gab going to be in lane a little bit earlier than that of Kumbhakana and Ram, as they're going to be a little bit delayed due to the mid-camp start. But Zatman, now level 2, going to rotate into lane and have, more than likely, his Rolling Assault available. No, he went for the pick-me-up at the start.
So now, we see more pressure coming through on both sides. I'm liking the overall push coming out from Bear early. Shoves that man under the tower. Really, he doesn't need this blue buff, Zatman. But losing this amount of gold in the beginning could be definitely beneficial. Right side, same thing. Use the Habwa and get those melees under the tower. Omega's taking up some damage here. He won't lose too much, but a great poke by Anatoly will ensure that they don't have the overall pressure they're looking for. But Omega's level 3, and they could make a play here.
They could do, but Loz is still in the area as well. Going to put the decoy down and just look to farm out the wave, and that's all you're going to see from Dignitas in this lane. Nice jumping from Andy, though, with that monkey hitting onto him and actually getting the aggression back onto Lars and hits a crit.
MLC Stealth in the mid lane keeps the best lockdown, who has opted into Scylla once again. Early game Scylla's pressure isn't nearly as good, and though you see these aggressive heals coming out to make sure the lane clear is stronger, the back goes down almost instantaneously. Only one remains, and Scylla's left fighting 3 archers. Either take the damage or lose the gold.
Now, one thing I want to note about the start, Zatman started with his 2, the pick-me-up, and then picked up 3 at level 2, the Rolling Assault. He didn't go for the Wave Clear of Astral Strike at the start. He's got it now, though, so he's got 1 in each skill. However, it's surprising he didn't take the Astral Strike earlier, just so he can get his quiver stacks off and put them to good use, DM. I'm really surprised by that. And it actually cost him a little bit under the tower early on, in terms of gold.
Barracuda by himself, allowing the rotations to
big
come
rotation.
through. You see Jeff Hindla is able to do pretty much whatever he wants level 3 right now, but look at where Lassus is. Look at the best, and look at Andy. Now, Andy has started up this buff. Lassus, I think he was hurt. He was hurt, he was spotted, he was damaged, but Andy's also taking the speed buff as well. Kind of a misplay there.
Well, Stealth going to come round, hit the Celestial Beam onto 2. Shadow Q takes a little bit of poke, as does Lars, but at the same time, the speed buff still stands, and this is just delayed at the moment. Zapman could get caught out of position here.
There's more pressure, more control. You're seeing a lot of put onto Barracuda there, but he's able to get out. They're turning onto Lassus, but Stealth has taken too much damage, will be forced to retreat. Nice slow by Andy. Doesn't quite get the crit as Shadow Q moves in, and Stealth with the godlike beat snipe through him. Doesn't find the damage. Shadow Q going to be put into Sleepy right now. They're trying to burn it down. They have no pressure, and now Zapman, sitting very low health, is going to be forced to roll out. 2 kills for Cog, no kills for Dig, and free experience in the solo.
Big pickup for Cognitive there overall. They were the ones that were engaged on. They were the ones that were invaded at the speed buff by Dignitas, and they turned that around fantastically. Zapman got caught between 2, and the team rallied from Dignitas to defend him. But in response, you saw the aggression once again from Cognitive and picked up 2 kills. Actual Astral Barrage popped here from Zapman. He's looking for some damage. Not going to find all 3 hits. Only the first one. And mid-camps, I believe those mid-camps went over to Dig.
That was Jeff. He was quicker on the draw again. Lassus using it, but too little, too late. Will drop an opportunity for some free experience. Doesn't rotate away. He tried to contest, and he lost that bet. And now right side camps will be going to Cog as well. Early game, 1,000 experience, or rather 1,000 gold up, 700 experience in the lead. Cognitive has set the pace.
Yeah, Cognitive really have. They've got a small lead right now, and Barracuda just going to farm out this wave. Zapman staying in lane as well. Very low on mana and HP here as well. But he does have the Spike Gauntlet and the Death's Toll, so we'll be able to sustain for now. And Shadow Q knocking around as well as Laz is. Going to look for an opportunity. Laz not going to find it, though. And he's actually just going to waste his time on his left-hand side looking for the assassination on Barracuda, who did drop low that side.
So we're looking more towards Dignitas right now. They need to find just opportunities to farm, but they really haven't had the same amount of pressure. Omega's not falling to the early kills that Habwa is generally known for. Mid lane, Best still struggling, trying to keep up with the wave clear from MLC Stealth. Barracuda strangely using his ult to go for the blue buff. I think he was kind of peeking towards the top side, but Cog has just controlled everything so far.
Yeah, I mean, Cog have done a good job overall. The early ward placement around the Gulf Fury just gave him enough vision to make sure they could see when Lars went for that early rotation. Didn't pay off for him red side. You're going to see the red buff going over to MLC Stealth, and Loki taking away the speed buff in his own jungle right now as Habwa rotates for his blue. But at the moment, like you said, Cognitive have set the pace.
And they're doing well with it. I mean, they're not giving up anything. They're ensuring they're taking their buffs. They're clearing their jungle out. They're not missing farm. Andy rotating in, actually doing a lot of damage to Anatoly very quickly. And then Andy smartly jumps out directly afterwards to ensure he doesn't take any unnecessary damage. Though in the end, Anatoly still walks away with the buff, so nothing really gained for Cognitive. And Anatoly escapes with his life and his buff.
And Toli also keeps hold of his crushing wave, and that's one of the things you like to see on the ganks. He's trying to force the crushing wave out defensively. Didn't use it there, so he's still going to be online. And now you're going to see a 3-man rotation to middle lane from Cognitive as Loki sits around in this solo lane, trying to support Toli, looking for an opportunity on Omega if it comes available.
Omega on the right side, more pressure. I mean, he's getting pushed under his tower a lot, but he's constantly getting Guardians and these Gladiator minions to ensure that he's not losing really too much. I mean, 1 creep worth of gold, you're looking at 25 gold per wave. I mean, it would take a long time to really push out how much gold he's actually earned overall in the beginning of the game. And don't forget, those last hits are still maxing out that Anchile to ensure that he's going to have a ton of usefulness going into the mid game. That's another stack. That's another stack. And Omega's just completely undeterred. Looking at his damage right now, you can see that his overall power has started to grow. He's sitting at 40 right now, which means those stacks are actually almost done.
Red Camp's going to spawn on the left-hand side. You can see both teams contesting for them. Both rotate around. Shadow Q goes in, but Blink from Jeff. Going to find a Cataclysm onto only Lars at the backside of that. So Loki going to escape for now. Now let's turn around onto Jeff. Is the problem. A great uppercut from Shadow coming out as both the Hunters come over.
Oh, Lord. Just barely Lassus is able to escape. Andy could be in a lot of trouble here. Fear No Evil comes back off a cooldown, sends them back in. But Anatoly has a line. He only does a little bit of damage to Jeff. They got to make something worth here. Jeff's trying to stay alive. The shield's going to get him out. The rollout. Left side, they've escaped. Oh my god, the turnarounds. How did Dig not get anything out of that? In fact, Anatoly, Anatoly's nowhere to be found. Omega's just fighting 4 people by himself.
They're all so low, they've used all the skills for that engagement and didn't get anything from it, and it was Cognitive who came out on top overall in that one. And I was about to say, DM, that was the first time I've seen him rotate earlier than Omegatron did to this team fight, and it looked like they were going to win it. I thought Dignitas were going to win that with the crushing wave and the help, but Omega comes in late and finds the kills.
Very smart overall. I mean, not only did they get the kill, they got the mid camp. I mean, that's just, it's modest, but it's something. We keep going back to that. They take these little victories, and it's worth a lot. Now, we have a big rotation here. It's going to force Zatman back once again. Teleport from Andy. Going to be sending them deep. There's no choice but for them to retreat once again, which is going to give them enough pressure and enough control to aim for the Gold Fury, but I don't know if they know that Lassus is also hanging around.
Well, they just took mid-camps as well on the right-hand side with Omega getting those ones for the team. Also, Cognitive even found something on the map when they fail a gank as well. So now you're going to see Andy rotate mid lane and put the pressure on with MLC Stealth and soak up a bit more extra experience now that most of his jungle is down. And like you said, Gold Fury is going to be the next thing on the block that's going to be contested.
Left side, we're going to see him let him rotate right in to make sure no experience is wasted. It looks like they're going to lose probably 2, maybe even 3, and no, just 2 in gold. Nice play by Barracuda to ensure he doesn't lose much. Looking at Omegatron here, we're going to see his stacks. I'm going to check out his damage. It looks like he is, yeah, he's up there. I mean, this is the damage he's looking for. He has enough potential to really push down a lot at this point. He could go for towers, he can invade for camps, and he has enough defense against Anatoly to where he's not really pressured or not really worried about having to escape too rapidly. Now, they're going to have a timer for the blue buff. They don't have a timer for the speed, but Andy is hanging around either way. You can see Jeff Hindley in the middle, and there goes
Shadow. Shadow could be caught out here, going to get zoned out for the most part, but uses his epic uppercut defensively to run away. It gives him immunity. That was the big thing there, DM. The immunity allowed him to just get out of dodge if things got really bad, and it did. But now look at this, the pings and the blue buff and the speed. They're rotating for more.
Yeah, actually, that was a really good ward coming out. Actually, did Andy steal that? I think it went to No, I think Andy actually took that.
Andy took it. Andy stole it away. Now they're going to look right outside for Totally. Fight!
Oh, that was close. Another defensive ult coming out. That's going to be number 2. Last is going to get picked off immediately without being able to even use. I mean, I would call that worth, though. Losing your jungler for your support despite the same level. Geb doesn't need farm. Loki demands it.
Definitely, Geb should be fine with dying there for his team, and his comrades are going to get the most out of him. With Andy taking away that speed buff, that's going to deny Lars even more in the jungle. So, big issues right now for Dignitas, and Cognitive Gaming is starting to stretch the lead further. But look at this, Dignitas now want to do the goal through knowing Geb was dead. Geb should be back here in time, or will he? They're rushing this one down as fast as they can, and Barry is trying to poke them down.
Barra's doing some decent damage here, but not nearly enough. It's getting very close.
Right side. Totally in trouble.
Is he going to let this go? Yeah, Dig actually does manage to drop that and get that in time. But at the same time, Anatoly goes down and leaves the solo lane wide open, forcing out a rotation from level 8 Lassus, comparatively to Ananser right now, who's already got popped into level 11. Now, I don't know what Lass is looking for here, but he is in the wrong neighborhood. If he gets picked off here, I mean, that's going to spell curtains for Loki.
He's just going to farm this up, really. Use the decoy, farm up as much as possible. But look at that. His decoy doesn't do nearly enough to even weaken the wave at all right now, DM. So he's going to have to just retreat back to the town and soak the experience up there. If he's not careful, though, Omega will make him pay for it really badly.
Yeah, I mean, look at... That was 2 quick hits in Lassus's critical condition. And given the fact that Umbrella Rank's going to clear this up super quick, this is going to give Omega prime opportunity to push this and maybe even go for the steal on the blue.
So, going to push in the lane, as you said right now. Going to continue to push in. Habwa is back, but actually, Omega's just going to go back to base here after pushing this wave in one more time. Let's see what he picks up overall. I believe he just upgraded his Warrior Tubby to full GOT Sprint 2 online, so he's going to be able to continue the chase, even in big baby form as well. So he's looking to fight right now, DM.
So we're 11 minutes. Andy's still farming. And that's what I keep looking at, is that Andy is always doing something, whereas Last is repeatedly getting sent back to the base, still not even level 10, whereas we're seeing Andy getting very close at this point to level 12, a level that we actually see Barracuda at, Zatman at. Anatoly, despite his 2 deaths, is level 13, highest on his team, tied, of course, with Omega, who is rocking 6k gold right now, but thanks to the Gold Fury, Anatoly does maintain a modest advantage in gold.
Shadow gets caught out again with a Finno Weaver, but absorbs most of it and follows up with an epic uppercut onto Andy, and that's a disengage overall. It didn't work out for them. They tried to focus down Shadow Q or catch somebody else out of position, but Shadow's going to be fine, you know, overall. He is Kumba Corner, he is very, very tanky. With that Mez, going to be able to get himself out of bad situations time and time again.
Anatoly just barely able to dodge there. You can see Omegatron separating himself to ensure that if he does ult, he would have enough health. That wasn't enough. Is he going to have an opportunity to go for the knock-up? Nice time. Armored Umbrella will clean it up, and Omega rapidly escapes. Lassus is going for the dive here. He's going to get picked off if he goes for it.
Or is he? He's going to try and get out, puts the decoy down. He's not going to absorb the tower shots now. And now here. Jeff going to rotate round, so is MLC Stealth. He's going to look for it. There's the Cataclysm coming out from Lars. And he's going to rotate back on himself now and looking to delay as long as possible for the Minion Wave to come in. Minion Wave does come in, but he's still going to drop the Vanish. Going to buy him a little bit of time, but for how long?
Well, he actually managed to waste a lot of time there. But honestly, when you're thinking about how much time you waste, you want to try to think about what you can gain off wasting that time. Realistically, all that did was allowed Omegatron to respawn faster than him. He didn't gain anything out of the kill aside from the kill, though that was a level 14 pickup and should be worth a fair amount of gold. We're going to see a lot more contention come out as we see the top camp get taken out. We're going to see speed buff contended, but Anatoly's rotating in, but without his ultimate.
See what he can do to try and defend this one. Is the Hog going to be available? It is, you know, and that's going to go over to Andy. So he's going to jump away immediately with the help of the Geb Shield as well, just in case the burst did come out any further. Left-hand mid-camps did go over to Stealth as well, so another small win for Cognitive on that side of the map. 7-2. Gold's pretty close, but experience, big lead for Cog.
Really, really smart play overall for Cog. Like I talked about, you know, they thought they were wasting time, but really all they did was let Omega spawn faster and give them enough time to actually rotate up and get their speed buff on spawn. If Lassus would have died 10 seconds sooner, they wouldn't have gotten the speed buff. But it's hard to keep track of those things in the moment. You're just thinking about survival. In the end, though, it wound up being a detriment.
As it stands right now, we're going to see MLC Stealth in the mid lane just clearing out very quickly. Mid-camp spawn on the right side, and Shadow Q going to try and take these ones away, but we're going to see Ra rotate over. Is he going to be able to take these from under Shadow's face? No, he's not, because he's going to drop the Hog on that one. And it's a good time to drop the Hog as well, DM. Like, use it when the Gold Fury is down and they're not going to have a chance for a Fire Giant. You know, make sure it's going to be available again for when the Gold Fury is back up.
Left side, Barracuda and Zatman going back at it, but Bear actually takes the brunt of that. Activating Astral Arrows, just burning through the wave. Yeah. Barracuda finds a little bit of frustration as he goes back to his tower. As the Gold Fury gets set to respawn here, it looks like we're inside about 30 seconds. Left side, Barracuda's just trying to use those Dev Gauntlets to keep himself topped off.
I mean, going over Zatman fight against Barracuda here in this left-hand lane, what you're going to see out of it is the fact that these two players are both learning this, as we see in the aggression from the right side, but you're going to see these two players both work out the strengths and weaknesses of Rom in this lane matchup, because these guys generally just play in the rank scene, and in ranked he's only just been available for the last few days, DM. So everyone's still starting to get to grips with his Fear Never Evil connects, and Anatoly's in trouble.
Ooh, that was big. That was big, and no answer from Lassus.
Not at all. Blink over from Jeff Hindley. He was looking for more. He just blinked over the Fire Giant as Andy's going aggressive. There's a snipe! Big sniper now. Shadow Q surrounded by 4 members.
They're going to push for the tower here. Best is going to throw the crush down and not find anything. Groggy Strike will land, but be rather irrelevant as the second goes off and doesn't find a target aside from a minion. Stealth going to throw the beam there. We're going to see a few shots from Omega as they continue their pressure. Zatman is going to turn his sights possibly to the
Gold Fury? No, he can Gold Fury solo, but is there a ward placement there? That's the question, and there is.
Yeah,
so they know
he's
this
completely
is going on.
spotted here.
Let him continue to farm it down, rotate over. Apollo has ultimate, so Barracuda can come in and clean up if he times this one right. He's actually just going to force it away early.
Yeah, actually, Barracuda recognizes what he did. Just went right for the mid lane for more farm. Smart play.
Yeah, and now they're going to reset it again, so if Zap chooses to go back again, which people know that Zap likes to try and take the Gold Furies if he's left alone, but the ward placement position there from Cognitive Gaming are just going to let him waste his time and waste a little bit more golden experience from Dignitas.
You know, every week I'm watching these stats, these kill-to-death ratios, and every single week I'm still blown away by Andy's ability to rock the top of the charts. It's incredible.
One of the reasons he's known as one of the best junglers as well in the world right now.
He's ranked #1 world right now by Smite Central.
That's exactly it.
And that's not jungler, that's player.
That's player, not just jungler. So it just shows how much of an influence he has on the team for Cognitive Gaming and how much of an impact he makes time and time again. Right-hand side, Omega going aggressive on Toli once more. Toli going to miss the spout, but going to get the burst off and just delay it for the time being. Got to be careful, though, as he's dropping lower.
Anatoly, and I didn't even notice this, Hindu, has opted into Polynomicon.
I saw that as well, but see, I don't know enough about solo lane to really make a big call about that one, but I feel like Polynomicon does feel a lot weaker, should probably be a 4th or 5th item after the changes to the amount of burst that can come out from it.
I mean, I'm looking at his stats right now. I mean, he's looking at an auto attack doing an extra like 80 damage. And to use that basic attack, you have to slow yourself against a character like Vimana. I think that's not a good pickup here. Maybe Anatoly knows something that I don't, but this seems like a major detriment. And he would have been much better building something into like Jotun's, or rather Bancroft's Talon.
I mean, especially with like Omegatron going for that Unseal rush at the start of the game as well. I mean, that magic resistance is going to absorb most of that coming out.
On top of his initial tankiness, I mean, he gets a decent amount of base stats.
So now we're trying to see Cognitive Gaming hunting around in a pack right now. Jeff Hindler is just rotating around with Andy at every opportunity, looking for the opportunity. But here we go, Zap looking for it one more time. Is there a ward there this time? No, there's not, but Barra has eyes. He knows this guy.
Maybe he's going for the Gold Fury. Maybe he's just trying to stack up his passive.
Well, this is a great call. This is
maybe he's going for the Gold Fury. That was free.
That was
nice call. Nice job, Zap.
They saw Geb right-hand side, and immediately Zapman was already doing the Gold Fury, trying to sneak it. But then when the rest of Dignitas saw that, they all rotated over as a team and went, okay, we'll take it. And Barra just had to sit and watch. He could not get involved in that. Meanwhile, right side.
I don't know what they're trying to do here. I mean, like, we see, where was Anatoly? Where was the rotation? Sure, they got the Gold Fury, but, I mean, immediately, Omegatron answers back. I mean, it's constantly, you take something from us, we're taking something from you. Despite that fact, we do see a small lead for Cog, but the experience difference is where I'm looking. There's a 5k experience difference, and that reflected is huge. There's 3 level 17s right now, and a 16. Andy has 3 levels right now on Lasses, on top of what looks to be 1,400 gold.
Yeah, it's a big difference in terms of junglers especially, and as the game goes on, you're going to really see the impact of that. One thing as well, Lazis does have the Heartseeker online though, so even if he is behind, he's going to do decent damage once that's fully stacked, and he should be, because he's not down for a little while, so keep an eye on that when he sort of start chunking people down if you can get it, but being behind on Loki is not the best place to be.
Loki is a character that absolutely is necessary in terms of farm. Andy completely wasting Fear No Evil and an uncharacteristic miss of his ultimate, as well as Omega using his, but just really to farm back up. And you can see a quick push puts him not only back in contention to push this wave, but almost back to full health, and with that blue buff, makes him an absolute monster.
So left-hand side, Zapman does take away the mid-camp, so getting a bit more experience for himself. But that gank on the right side, you can see Omega going in, and last stayed around. There's a great assassinate from him. The body block was good enough for Toei to finish off the kill, and it paid off. And now they're going to get the tower back in response. This was a good play, but Andy's here. He's not got Fear No Evil this time round. Quick recall from Loki. He's going to make it out, that's the question.
Yes, he will get back. The jump was just too little, too late. Jeff not finding anything either, and despite being down 6 kills, they take a gold lead on Team Dignitas. Despite the fact that they're still down about 3,600 experience, they're proving they are still in this game.
And that's some of the gold, the difference between the two right now, Dim, is down to the 2 Gold Furies that Dignitas have had back-to-back. Like, they've done a good job of controlling that buff overall, and that's an important objective to make sure you pick up, even, especially really, not just even, especially at a deficit.
So, Hendo Man, 20 minutes into the game right now, you are Dignitas. There's no Gold Fury, there's no real tower contention. What are you looking for?
Right now, as how this game is playing out, Zapman's winning trades with Barracuda 24/7 in this lane. So what I want to see from Zapman is to continue the pressure the Gold Fury's down and have big rotations from Dignitas on the right-hand side and leave Zapman 1v1 against Barracuda. Force Barracuda into a bad spot and leave Zapman to 2v1 when Jeff has to rotate over to help defend, but then set yourself up on the other side of the map for some tier 2 towers if possible, but at the same time a possibility of a Fire Giant DM. That's what I'd like to see from Dignitas right now.
You know, we talked about it all in the last 2 weeks. You know, all the casters get asked a million questions all the time of what we think is good, what we think is not good. Everyone keeps asking me, why do I think Rama is so strong? And that's the ability to be able to box somebody inside their own creeps with a wider range of auto attacks than they have and win the engagement.
That's right.
And that's what Zap is doing every single time.
Hunters generally get in the mindset of use the minions and use things to block the shots coming in from the opponent, so you stand behind your minions naturally. However, if you do that against a Rom, he's going to lifesteal off those minions, DM, and still hit you through them as well. So you're going to lose the trade as he continues to lifesteal at the same time. It's a big problem. And then his archers, if he's in a minion wave with you as you fight this, are going to come out on top. And yeah, I agree, the Astral Strike being a larger range makes it easier to land those attacks.
As Dignitas counts their lucky stars, Lassus has got himself a speed buff.
He has got himself a speed buff, and Jotun's Wrath is online for him as well.
I think that was the second speed buff he's gotten in 22 minutes. Anatoly ulting through 2. He's not going anywhere. Goodbye, God of the Yellow River.
He's trying to delay for his team to rotate. Not going to find it, though, but he is going to drop. Meanwhile, mid lane, MLC stuff a little bit overextended, but Barracuda is in the area looking for the best on the backside. Barra's very deep.
Actually, that was a big win for them, forcing out the Sentinel that early. Bear's in an awkward position. Lassus accidentally walks directly into the Fear No Evil and gets pushed out. Zapman rotates in, but again, too little too late as they pick off both Anatoly and ShadowQ. They have contention of Fire Giant, but they're going for the push here. Zapman put himself... Oh my, that's Fire Giant. Lassus is running away from stealth, takes a big hit to the backs. Best has nothing to offer except a possible 5-man swing of his ultimate. This is a lot of trouble.
Cognitive are really taking this game at the scruff of the neck now. Dignitas had an opportunity, especially after that kill onto a Megatron in the solo lane, but right now, Cognitive have this game to throw to an extent. They're going to be able to push onto the middle lane, take down these objectives, open up the gold and experience lead DM, and the Gold Fury is also available and waiting to be taken.
Gold Fury, they're going to rotate over, and I mean, you look at the map right now, Andy just took the mid lane with that Fire Giant. Bottom side, Omega was available for the Fire Giant. Everybody currently has the buff adorned to them, and they've just stripped the field of objectives. I mean, there's a red buff up, and that's pretty much it. No one's worried about the blue. Last is forced to rotate to solo lane just to try to get some experience. He's level 16 right now, using his hand just to try to clear waves. Whereas we look across the way at Ananser, ultimate up, level 2, he has the short sword, shifter shield online, Jotun's Wrath ready to go with that CDR. This is a lot of trouble. He's very close to level 20.
And you can see Lars trying to split push here and put some pressure on some side of the map, knowing the Fire Giant's available. This is what he needs to do, because that man's not going to really get the opportunity to do that. He's not playing Apollo this time round, DM. He's not able to split push and put the pressure on to keep the pressure off Dignitas. And so it's going to be up to the jungle. It's going to be up to Loki. Lars is going to have to do this, but a Megatron is having none of it.
Yeah, look at this. He's just blowing him away. He ults immediately. Oh my god, the damage is outrageous. He'll be able to escape here, but I mean, that's not a great win there for Lassus. Sure, he got the ultimate, but Omega doesn't need that. He has contention of push freely, but we have a 3-man rotation over here, and he's still going for the kill.
Baiting, assassinate.
I think he's going to pick that up.
They should do with ShadowQ being there. Oh my god, if Omega finds it just in time with Zapman. So, now they're going to find that kill. Larger back to base. Zapman can split push, get a tier 2 tower. Left-hand side with the Fire Giant. They're actually recalling here to defend.
This is a strange call to me. I'm not sure why they're not going to push 4v2. Trade the tier 2 out. They don't need the gold at this point. They're ahead by a small margin, but that Fire Giant turns them into superheroes. But I'm still thinking about Omega failing to cancel that 1 into the basic attack there. Lassus just barely living. But to be fair, even if he had picked off Lassus, not much would have changed in that regard.
I'm surprised a little bit because Cognitive Gaming have the Fire Giant. Zapman was split pushing, and it would have been a 4v4 fight as they pushed down the left-hand side DM. They could have taken the tier 2 tower and probably the Phoenix as well, because they're so far behind in terms of items or Dignitas right now that I think Cognitive Game with the Fire Giant buff would have been able to take a Phoenix and trade for a tier 2 tower quite easily.
We're looking at the bottom side. Mid-tower getting pressured to the Team US Fire Giant. Very strange, but nobody is stopping Barracuda's split push master right now. Rama's rotating. It looks like Best isn't. I think this is going to be a free tier 2. I don't think Zap has the speed.
I don't know. We'll find out. We're going to see him go in here, try and clear the wave as quick as he can. No, he's going to focus onto him, but the Astral Strike comes out once again. Barra pops the ultimate. Is he going to look to engage on middle as the snipe hits on the Best?
Best could be in trouble. He's going to the back line. Does Best still have Sentinel? Oh, actually, where's he going?
Okay, Barra thought, right, they were looking for Loki. They were looking for Laz's on this right-hand side because Omega knew he was around. But Lars had backed, which was very smart from him. So Barra wasted the ultimate flying around to try and spot out exactly where Loki was on that engage. So that paid off for Dignitas, but I think they'll still lose the middle tower. Or will they?
The tier 2 is getting pressured a lot. You see ShadowQ in there. Groggy Strike will land. Stealth will take some damage, though Geb Shield has contributed a lot. But Barra's damage is just too high. We see another Hand of the Gods being used on the wave coming out from Lassus, but too little too late as we rotate in. Andy jumps in fearlessly. 3,000 gold picked up inside of 10 seconds.
10 seconds indeed, and now only one tower remaining on the map for Dignitas here. The team composition looks so good. I was hoping so much for Kumbhakana and Rama to just put on a show for us, but it's not worked out for Dignitas so far this game. As you see the team of Cognitive pushing down middle, Finno even onto Zaman. Zaman using the Aegis, but eats a beam to the face, goes to the sky, tries to look for the Astral Barrage damage, doesn't really find it, rolls away. Can he continue to survive as Barracuda chasing in, and he takes the kill.
Without Zatman there, I just don't see how they're going to keep them off. Omega dealing with Anatoly on the right side. Anatoly still not escaping. He's actually getting it back, but the Phoenix is already taking damage, and he does get picked up by a good combo coming up from last and best. Phoenix actually not low enough yet. As you see the blink coming in, they could actually push onto Jeff here.
Uppercut onto Jeff, lands back down, Kuda goes in deep, and now Kuda's going to be surrounded. Already used the beads, and now he stayed around too long. Lars finds himself a kill, but meanwhile, right-hand side, and Megatron is taking down this tier 2, so it's not all in vain right now. Or is it? Because if the best can find that Sikkim, the Fire Giant's up soon, and this could be a way back in for Dignitas. That's where they're running right now, DM, because the respawns are 45 seconds on at least Barracuda.
Still not blinking, however, the Fire Giant still has a few seconds available. Mid Phoenix has been taken, the blink is coming through, and then Omega is backing.
This is a chance for Dignitas to get themselves back in this. Only Stealth and Omega are here. How long until the rest of the team are back up? Well, Jeff's not up for another 8 seconds, and the team are going to try and burst this one down. Omega, Stealth, you've got to do something. Otherwise, Dignitas are going to close the gap. Snipe hits the best, but it's not enough. Dignitas take a Fire Giant. And how they did that, I have no idea.
You know, and Zatman was up for that as well. He just respawned, clearing out the waves. The Phoenix just didn't go down. Cognitive suddenly on the ropes here.
Cognitive are on the ropes. I mean, they've got a lot of towers to defend overall, so Dignitas have bought themselves some time. They've got themselves an opportunity now to get some of this gold back, get some of this experience back wherever possible. And Cog, being very wise, DM, taking the Gold Fury quickly and not leaving anything available.
So now, Gold Fury's gone. The lead starts to shrink even more. We're still, actually, wait. Oh, okay. So the lead starts to shrink, sure, but they're still 8,200 ahead, right?
They are
the issue here is that Fire Giant is worth so much money in terms of how much damage it gives you. So
just stats, just
you
stats.
You should consider this to be a fairly even game. The only real level difference at this point is that Himmler has level 4 Cataclysm and Shadow Q's Epic Uppercut isn't one level higher, which is kind of irrelevant. So we're looking at all pushes. Omega forced out Anatoly's ult, not taking any damage in the process. That is...
Oh, the snipe from Stealth was using there's a fit. No evil landed onto 3 members. The best is in trouble. Using the Aegis. Not going to survive as the Barracuda's going to pick him up. But Zatman on the backside fighting off against Barracuda. Barracuda's winning this trade. Finds it with it so beautiful. And now Lars is trying to run for his life. Level 19 versus Andy, who's going to find it with the monkey.
That was a blind shot.
Wow.
That was a blind shot. Teleport, cancel into auto attack. That's incredible. That is high-level Loki play. Now, what happened, guys, just so you guys understand, is he saw that he did damage. The number of damage appeared above the head, and he watched it just turn around to the side. Bang. Picked it up. Only Shadow Q's here, guys. That's the real turnaround.
Shadow Q gonna drop down. The last member of Dignitas has died. Guys, Cognitive Gaming are gonna win this one 2-0 after a fight back at the end with the Fire Giant from Dignitas. But Cognitive Gaming are gonna be the first seeded team for the regional LAN tournament in Atlanta.
An incredible turnaround. Fire Giant or not be damned. Cognitive finds a way to make it happen. Now, this is the Cognitive. I love this. So let's check this out here. We're going to talk a little bit about the seeding points and how this is going to work. Going into the LAN, and while it's slightly unfortunate for COG going in, COG is going to be facing off in round 1 against COG Red. As first seed, we'll fight 4th, Hinduman.
Yeah, first we'll fight 4th, so it's more than likely we're going to see that, well, it's definitely likely we're going to see COG versus COG Red, which will be a great game overall. You'll see on the screen right now the top 4 with the points on your screens. We're going to see Cognitive Gaming win with 700 points, DM, right behind, 740 points right behind them. We're going to see Dignitas with 680 points, Smite at 425, and finally COG Red at 250 points, and that's going to round it out. And it shows that it wasn't all that easy to get 3rd and 4th place, DM.
Man, that was absolutely... I'm still going back to Anaster. I mean, he follows the number Lassus jukes behind him, but Andenser reads the run, just throws it right down the line and catches him. And I mean, aside from that, just the overall engagement, that is the cognitive that we previously saw in the last qualifiers. But if there's anything we learned is that the qualifiers don't always equate to LAN experience.
No, they don't.
COG going into this one is going to have a lot more experience this time. They took third at the launch tournament. They're looking for that 50 grand prize this time. This is going to be pretty intense. We're about a month away.
I cannot wait to see the North American LAN. It's going to be probably one of the most exciting experiences to actually see because, oh my goodness, those teams were so close overall. And I can't wait for the the SPL to start as well, the Pro League to begin.
Right.
Because 5 Angry Men, I'm certain they're going to make it. 5 Angry Men have to make it into that Pro League because they deserve to. They've put on a performance. They were so close with Cognitive Red, like backwards and forwards over the couple of weeks as well. So really good to see them come out. It's such a shame they didn't make it, but congratulations to Cognitive Red. Going to make it to the LAN tournament. And DM, this all starts again tomorrow for EU.
That's right. There's a lot of contention up for EU. The third seed is actually not locked in yet. Team Coast still has a chance to be knocked out. SK only a few points, I think 15 points ahead of I5, 22 points ahead of Team Agilitas. So any of those four teams could wind up making it into the LAN. Of course, Cloud9 HyperX, which is up by 55 points over Team Solo Mid, still maintains their top two.
That's right.
But third and fourth are not cemented yet.
Not cemented at all, and that could be a very long day, guys. So if you want a long day of SWC and you want to see these teams play consistently, tune in tomorrow because that's going to go on until we get a third and fourth place finish, and we might have tiebreakers. We could have anything. The hype is real all weekend long. But for today, North America, we saw the teams go through DM, and that was going to be Cognitive taking first seed.
That's right, guys. We're going to cut to the highlight reel for the day so you guys can relive some of the more hype moments that we've seen. Of course, congratulations to the four teams that made it. We'll be catching with you tomorrow. I think it's you and Dry Bear at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
I know I'm here tomorrow, so we will see you then. Guys, have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of it, and enjoy the highlights, which will be coming on your screen right about now.